The men from the Bible have been portrayed in a variety of ways through various forms of media, but the common one is the gentle, passive, lamb-hugging, smiling, fatherly figure. And while for some part many men on this list definitely fit this description, it's not the complete picture. This picture isn't really inspiring and proves that people who came up with portrayals such as these are not doing the manliest men of the Bible any justice. Now, this list is meant to inspire and energize all of male kind, and the criteria that these men have been chosen on are: number one, that they perform feats that cause a rush of testosterone; two, that they accept their faults and press on regardless of what they are; number three, that they are humble and conduct themselves with honor; number four, they are willing to put their life on the line. Now, hesitation is irrelevant just so long as they do it. And number five, have an extremely strong faith in God and carry out his plans that would appear bizarre, which most of them are. Now, they don't need to meet all of these requirements, but they have to meet most. So let's not waste any more time and get on with the top 10 manliest men in the Bible. Number 10. Prince Jonathan. Now, the son of Saul was a stand-up guy and treated heir apparent David with the love that was reserved only for a brother. And even though he would have been a great king in his own right, I mean, the Bible does point that he was a humble, decent guy. I mean, the amazing thing is, it was no big deal that he wasn't going to be king. Now, I do personally think that was because he learned from his father's example during Saul's decline and decided he didn't want to end up like that. But regardless, he definitely is one of the manliest men for this alone. Number 9, Job. Now, we all know Job's story about how he lost his family and was afflicted with all kinds of bad diseases, and you think that that's the reason why he gets on this list. Well, it's partially the reason, but it's not the full story. You see, if you read the book of Job, you'll know that Job was completely honest with God throughout his entire ordeal, despite being theologically wrong. How do we know this? Well, at the end of it, who does God justify? Yes, he justifies the man who was completely honest about his struggle. And it is for that honesty, despite going through what he did, that Job takes the number 9 spot. Number 8, Boaz. Now, Boaz was a man who owned his own business. Now, that's manly enough. I mean, he's also a great manager of people, as evidenced by how fair he treated his workers and how he was loved in return by them. And you know what? Very few people have that gift. And not only that, Boaz is a smart man, because even though Ruth is a widow and some would consider not the ideal person to marry, Boaz still took this woman in, even though she had nothing to offer him, and said, you know what? I'm happy with this. I'm okay with it. I mean, she's a good, honest, hard-working woman. So what if she's a widow? I'll take her in anyway. And to just simply forget societal prejudice, that is why Boaz gets on this list and takes number 8. Number 7, Joseph. Oh boy, this guy have it rough. Let's see. He gets sold into slavery, but despite being sold into slavery, rises through the ranks with his employer, and we all know how the wife of his employer tried to seduce him, and he refused that. And you know what? According to scholars, she was pretty hot. And it takes a really manly man to refuse a hot woman. Unfortunately, he does end up in jail for it, but this is what makes him even more amazing. He rises through the ranks again! He doesn't give up. He perseveres. And not only that, he ends up saving Egypt from disaster and ends up becoming Prime Minister. Well, the equivalent of Prime Minister. By doing the right thing. Yeah, think about that. He's a politician who succeeds by doing the right thing. Enough said. Number 6, Elijah. Now, a lot of these people do get on this list for standing up for God, but you got to look at who Elijah stood up for God against. King Ahab, Queen Jezebel, and the Baalite priesthood. And one thing you need to know about the Baalite priesthood, they sacrificed babies. And you need to be some special kind of evil and scary to kill babies. But what makes Elijah even more impressive is that his weapon of choice during a contest against the Baalites was fire falling from the sky. And because he would have known what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, it would have taken a lot of nerves from him to stay in one place and wait for it.